Hi guys, Modern Warfare 4, the beta. Right, so we're playing the early access beta. I am aware the open beta for everyone else to play is next week. So I thought I'd do a quick settings video of what I've learned so far for heavy-handed players again. For those of you that are precision based, you're not about sliding and running, doing crazy stuff, this is for you. Yeah? So what we'll go over first is the controller. Now, I play on default button layout as I have a fly digi controller, so I have shoulder buttons on the back. So I use that for slide, and I have the other one for jump if I need to get over and mantle things quicker. Right, so we'll go down as we go. So horizontal stick sensitivity, I've gone with 90, guys. Now, I believe it comes pre-default about 150 to 175, 180. It's quite fast on a controller, so it depends if you're a fast player. If you're heavy-handed, I would lower it if I was you. Vertical, I've lowered it a little lower than horizontal because I don't want to flick up and down too quick. I'm trying to track a jumper or someone up in windows. Simplify controls, turn them off, low motor strain, bumper ping. I don't know why I've got that off. I think the reason I've got it off is the minute the maps are so small, you don't need to tag someone because by the time they've killed you, they've killed your mates. Controller vibration, personal choice, but again on FPS games, I would always suggest turn it off. Right, we'll get straight into the meat and potatoes as full of shame and everyone else used to always want to moan about. So, left stick min, I've gone with 6. I don't have stick drift. I just find it stops the stick feeling too loose when I want to move. Left stick max, so it gets to the movement quicker. We've pulled it in closer to 60 out of 99, so we've lowered it so it moves quicker. Little FYI, all you COD heads out there, you know, if you're obsessed with aim assist, sticky aim, it's your left stick you need to look at, yeah? Right min stick, I've raised this quite a bit. So anyone who's going to sit here going crazy right now, oh, I have it 0 to probably 6. Yeah, if you're a super fast player, I get it. But I find the right stick, if you've got it way too low, you're in an intense gunfight, 1 or 2 players, you're trying to move, you overshoot, you flick that right analog by accident, you've moved the gun, you've lost the gunfight. The reason I've raised it is it helps stay and maintain where I want it. So there is no accidental flick. Equally, if you are a fast player, you like flicking, then keep it around 6. Yeah? But for heavy-handed players, try 20 to 24. Right stick max, keep that at 99 because you don't want it hitting that area too fast. So it gives you more time, yeah, for tracking. Left trigger and right trigger, self-explanatory. Lower it. You want it to activate a lot quicker. Daft if you have it higher, makes no sense. Now I've got mouse click triggers, so I just have it that way. Aim sensitivity multiplier, right. The only ones I've really touched here, ADS sensitivity multiplier. So this is while you're aiming down sight. I've lowered it to 85 because it slows it down. Yeah. Remember, you're not looking to spray and pray. You're looking to aim, lock in, and fire and finish. Yeah. Same with the ADS multiplier. Focus. Same bag as the one above. Lucky version. Don't touch it. Aim in advanced settings. So you want ADS sensitivity transition. You want instant. The minute you press your left trigger, if you play on controller, you want to snap. Yeah. So that's that. The third person ADS correction type, have this as assist if you want aim assist, guys. Because basically when you're running, yeah, that's where the gun is technically loose, right? The minute you then choose to aim down sight, it's going to already get assist involved. Dynamic seems to be the generic favorite of everyone. I will be playing around with this. I've been using dynamic so far and it's fine on Call of Duty. Other games, I don't use dynamic. Yeah. And we go into response curve. So the aim response curve slope scale, drop it to 85 to 90 tops. Because again, you want it slower when it's on them. Yeah. So you can track better. Sensitivity per zoom, I've turned that off because I've got all these other things on. I don't need it. And the maps are tiny at the minute, so all these extra zooms you're not going to use anyway. So keep that off. Target aim assist for all your aim assist heads, keep it on. ADS aim assist, keep it on. I don't tend to rely on it as much because I'm more of a, precision player. I like to pick my fights myself. But it's there, so just leave it on as default if you wish. These other ones, motion sensor, unless you play with a motion controller, I've not heard anyone do it much or seen videos. So if you do, please do a video. I'm intrigued to watch. Movement, sprint assist on. Yeah. Sprint delay, make sure it's 0. So there is no slow-mo going into a sprint. You literally go straight to Usain Bolt and you're out the dock. Yeah. Mantle assist, turn it off. You don't want to go near somewhere trying to duck and you end up climbing over something, turn it off. Corner slice, you don't want to be aiming out because there could be someone hard scoping. The minute you literally decide to lean, you get picked off. It's easier to slide around the corner and shoot, yeah, or dive. I'm loving diving on the floor for some reason. It works occasionally. Slide, maintain, sprint. Make sure that's turned on, guys. Parachute behavior is free fall. Again, that's only on, I think, as a generic ready for Warzone because you do not use parachute in multiplayer. Movement advanced settings, right. So tactical sprint, you want to toggle, yeah? So you're not always holding it down and wearing out your analog stick. Toggle on, toggle off. Auto move forward, turn it off. Auto door peek, turn it off. Grounded mantle again, turn it off. Tactical sprint again, it normally was on double tap, put it to single tap. Plunging underwater, it's set as trigger as default because at the minute, again, that's going to be a Warzone setting, not a multiplayer setting. So going down to vehicle behaviors again, that's going to be more Warzone, so do not worry about that. Coming over to combat on the controller. Aim down sight behavior, you want to hold. You don't want to be pressing toggle. I think that's default anyway, so keep it as it is. Weapon mount activation. So when you're going towards a sort of side, if you've got the attachment, it'll mount the gun. Turn it off, because again, it can mess up your aim. Dedicated melee weapon activation, hold melee. So that's just to do your finishers. Armor plate behavior, again, it's aimed at Warzone. C4 detonation, if you do have it set as all blow up at once. Equipment behavior, hold. Manual fire behavior, it's press. You can have hold if you're using certain guns, but I don't think it's worth it and it's too slow. You may be able to tap it quicker than holding it and hearing a 3-round burst go. And again, where you could tap it possibly a lot quicker. Play around with it, but I think you should just press it. Scoreboard should just be toggle. Advanced overlays. I don't really mess with this at the minute because, again, it's a beta. We're playing around with it. Now, while we are on settings, we're going to go over graphics. So if you're playing on PC, guys, especially, full screen exclusive, make sure it's on. Make sure your graphics card is set to what it actually is. Display rate and screen refresh, make sure they are exactly what your monitor does. And the ratio, don't leave it on auto, put it on the exact aspect ratio. Background shader preloading, this ain't too bad. I'm playing around with this. I will update you on this at the minute. It's fine, it doesn't cause any spikes. Display gamma, leave it as it is. Now, if you have got an NVIDIA card, make sure you've got reflex, low latency on plus boost. Basically means input latency goes down a lot, and that means a good thing. It means you react quicker. Now, if boost isn't available, on is also fine. Power saving mode, just turn VSync off. Still don't understand why they put that in the games, but possibly an option. Now, this one, I've gone with custom. Now, my card can handle more than this, but this is the most it'll do. Reduce your menu frame rate to either 60 or 90. Our focus down to 30. You could push it to 60, but I'd suggest 30. The reason for it, if you are streaming and that is all set to unlimited, you're going to get a lot of notifications in your streaming software saying that it's bugged and it's overheating. Your PC isn't overheating, it's a bug. Set the frame rate to this. Yeah. Equally, if your card or your monitor can only do, say, 144 or even, say, 165, set this one to that. Yeah. Reduce radar menu renderation, just leave it optimal. Pause game rendering off. Reduce quality 30 seconds. Focus mode 0. Now, dynamic HDR. Now, as they always say on paper, it looks great. It genuinely does. It looks stunning. But in a competitive game where you've got to shoot first to win first, HDR does add input lag. So pick and choose your battle. Do you want pretty or do you want to win? Pick your battles. Now, quality, obviously keep this as 100. Dynamic resolution, I turn off. Now, this is an old school COD thing. So Fidelity ACAS is what I pick. Even though I've got a 4090, I do not like running DLSS. Any AI upscaling adds a ton of input latency, which means input delay. Yeah, you don't want that in a gunfight. Fidelity ACAS strength, I've gone with 80. You can go as high as I'd say 85, not go any higher, and do not go below 70. Yeah. AMD, FSR, frame gen, obviously I don't have any AI, and I'd turn ray tracing off. Now, these would all look very pretty if you're playing the campaign, but if you're playing multiplayer and you want to win gunfights, turn these off. And the VR RAM scale target, this is basically how much VR RAM, percentage of your card it can use. I've got 4090, 24 gig of RAM. People have 5090 again, is what, 32 gig of RAM. And then you got cards that are 16 gig, 12 gig, 8 gig, and so on. Now, if you have a lower card than, say, mine, a 24 gig, I would put that as 70. And equally, if you've got a card that's around, say, 12 gig to 8 gig, lower that to 60. Yeah? Variable shading, turn that off because that eats your CPU. No matter what CPU I've got a Ryzen 9950X3D. It still chews and spikes at times, not always, but at times. Turn it off. You do not need it. Motion blurs are self-explanatory. Turn them off. They look pretty again when it's in story mode, but not in multiplayer. Field of view again, do not need it on multiplayer. The maps are tiny. That's more going to be towards the bigger maps, i.e. Warzone. Now, texture resolution I've got as high, detail high, quality high. Particle resolution, I've turned these down. Again, all these feel free to get my words out, pause or slow it down. The reason I've lowered these, now I tried it when I first loaded it up, and I maxed everything out, pretty much overkill, yeah? I even noticed a slight bit of input delay. I wasn't happy. This will lower the input delay, and because you've got these two high, or these three, sorry, it still looks gorgeous. Some of these are just added effects, almost overlays, yeah? If you want to keep them, you want it medium to high, just expect a few input delay, which is possibly why some people are already pre-firing corners. Copy that. So we've got video game. This is normally set to high. Lower it because, again, standard is fine. You've got shadow quality. Again, I'm not chasing shadows, I'm chasing people. Again, all this beautiful stuff here can be turned on if you play the campaign to make it look like a movie. But when you're playing one-on-one gunfights, three-on-one gunfights, pretty isn't going to make you win. Speed and low input latency is. So take them off or lower them. Terrain quality, again, all these are very pretty. You You don't need them on if you want to win a match, so turn them off. Field of view is literally personal choice. I've gone with 95 because these maps are tiny, so I prefer that. Now, enhance FOV, put in the comments, guys. I've not played around with this. I believe this is new. I've not seen it on other CODs. But put it down below what you think if you've tried it or how you've worked it. Because it says here it uses physically accurate lens effects to enable additional field of view. Also increases render resolution while maintaining. So that sounds to me like it'll add a lot of input delay. In mile per hour. It'll add delay. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you've tried it. Now, this one I completely forgot about. This one needs to be done. First person camera movement. You're bouncing around and yeah, put it down to the lowest it can go, and that's minimum 25%. Because it was on default 100%, and you're all bouncing around as you're running. And as much as that may look realistic, no, it's irritable. So turn it off. Yeah. So that is all of that for you guys. If you've got any questions, put it in the comments. If you've got better control system, also tell me in the comments. But other than that, guys, I've been Ichibanthug, and I will see you on the very next one. Peace.